everyone, this is Jaeger here with Rusher's Toys, and today we are now doing our part 4 segment of our Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Tyrannosaurus Rex series. You guys asked, we're making the videos. So what we've been doing is comparing the 1993 Jurassic Park toy line all the way up until the 2025 toy line, from Jurassic Park all the way up to Rebirth, from Kenner, Hasbro to Mattel. And so in this video, what we're going to do is we're actually going to start going through like our Hammond collection, the 93 Classic, and then Rebirth. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys the size and the scale. You asked, we wanted to make this for you. So we've got our Thrasher T-Rex and our original T-Rex, so we can show you as well as the action figures. We can save the cage. We'll use that for the Colossal so you guys can see that. But scale-wise, so you guys can see the action figures from the 90s. All the way up until the 2000s. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pick on this collab first. And I showed you guys, so we have the unboxing on there as well. All these videos you can watch of the unboxing for any of the Jurassic World toy line that we have. They're all on our YouTube channel right here at Rusher's Toys. But one of the things that I really liked about this T-Rex here is this was their version of the 94 Series 2. And so you can see scale-wise, it is bigger. The paint, the detail, it's held up because it's not very old. I just did this year. I really like the retooling of this T-Rex here. I like the paint job. You can see the scale-wise, the teeth are a lot better in this figure than even the, you know, like the original. It's got razor-sharp teeth, but what I'm going to do is like scale-wise, you guys could see how it scales there. Let's look at the scale here. So scale-wise, on board with the Thrasher, mouth size, you know, right there. Show you that. And then even the 1993. So show you the scale there. Just show you guys that. And just how it stands up. You know, and so what I want to do is I'm just going to set the Thrasher here as well as our redo of this. And I want to show you guys this. So in our previous video, we talked about how this T-Rex from Mattel very first release, the Legacy Collection, when this was their flagship. And if you ask me, look at the retooling already. Look at the teeth. Look at the jaws. And I get that this is almost the exact same mold as the that T-Rex. And here's the deal, guys. Like, it's like they want you to leave the legs locked in on this one, whereas this one, you know, did not have that. And so, like, if you look, it's almost the exact same T-Rex. It's got a little better tooling on it. I really was a big fan of the paint. Like, they changed the head. I think even the head's just a hair wider. But the teeth, like, scale-wise, look how it compares to Grant. Like, this still does, like, unfortunately, it does remind me of the juvenile T-Rex, not the flagship, you know, like the Dominion or even the Thrasher T-Rex, you know, but it just reminds me of, like, it's more of a juvenile because it still isn't that big. Like, I like it when it can digest the figure whole. I think that's always a cool feature. But this was one of my favorite releases that Mattel did, only because it was a callback to the 94 line, and it was such a hard figure to get back then. But I thought that this was really cool. And you know, you had the capture gear on here, which I thought was a really cool callback. And I love the fact that it was more of this rubber, so it wasn't as easy to break as the little plastic that we had in the 90s. But this figure here, I just really liked. And I just wanted to show you guys, comparing that to the original, you know, that they released, how far they've come. But I wish, again, like, I still treat that as almost a juvenile. But you can see how well it scales up with even the RV from the 90s. But what I want to do is let's do it. Let's do this. And so we've got, you know, we've got the 93 Classic Real Feel Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I thought this was such a cool figure. I do wish that it was a little bigger, like on scale with this, but I do really respect the fact that Mattel wanted to come out with their own version, and I think it's fantastic. They did a great job with it. You know, I always said like a callback that I think would have been so cool was if they would have put a button down here to make it have the original sound effects from the 1993 where it just stomped and had the old roar, so then you could experience that. But one of the things that I really liked with this figure is it didn't have the bulky arms where it was weightlifting like this one, but you can see scale wise just how big the original is compared to it. You know how tall it stands. And one of the figures you guys ask us to always compare it to sometimes is with the Thrasher. So you can see it's just about on scale with the Thrasher. I really like that Mattel has figured out how to get these T-Rexes down. I really like the fact that it is rubber. That's why I really like this T-Rex. I wish that they would do more of this real feel line. I'm glad to see that the Indominus Rex and those are coming out in the real feel line, as well as the Giganotosaurus. But I really hope that they just keep capitalizing. But one thing is that this dinosaur is only built to eat, I believe, the figures from Mattel's line. As you can see, Grant doesn't fit in there at all from the 90s, and I showed you like the 97 line. They can eat any of the figures. I can try and show you guys, but see, even his arms. I could probably throw Dennis Nedry down there that has that you can take his arms off from the 1993 figure, and he would probably fit down there, but like Muldoon fits down just like that. Eats, you know. And one of the things that I really like is they did a throwback to the Bull T-Rex and the Gulper T-Rex. But again, you know, it is a smaller T-Rex. And I really like sometimes when the dinosaurs are so much bigger. Not like they have to be the colossal size by any means, but just a hair bigger like the Bull T-Rex. I just think like some of these dinosaurs are it should be bigger than just built on the scale of the action figure. But realistically, this is one of my favorite T-Rexes that Mattel has put out, just because I think it looks so mean. It's got the colors, you know. There wasn't a lot of action features with this. It was just like you throw the figure down there. There was no moving the tail, and it's got a Thrasher action. I like the simplicity. There was no gimmicks or motors that you're gonna break or have it bust on you. But 93 Classic Real Feel, definitely a collector's item. So get that before Target eliminates that. Now what we have is one that actually does create a lot of, I'd say, animosity in some ways, as well as just overall Mattel not having proper distribution on this and working on it. But this is the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I think that this guy was really cool when it came out. I never understood the whole eye thing. Everyone was talking about the glass eye, and I can tell you, like, the eyes on mine are so fogged over. I have one sealed that was from the re-release line. I've never looked at it to see if the eyes is fogged up or not. But this was like the premium collection of Mattel. And I feel like when you look at this dinosaur, when I compared it to the Spinosaur and the Giganotosaurus and that, I always look at the feet. And one of the things that gets me with this dinosaur, though, is it just has ginormous feet for the figure. You look at it, look at the feet. Look at the feet on here. And then, like, I'll even show you. Let's do scale-wise and show you guys just how it looks. And then I'll tell you. So, like, they're scale-wise. So you can see it's actually bigger than the Thrasher. However, look at how it looks compared to the Thrasher. It looks out of proportion. And I remember when I did the unboxing on it, I noticed that too. And it was just one of those things where I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is so cool. However, the legs just look wonky. Look at it. Look at the legs on this compared to that. I mean, look at the sculpt though. They've got it down. Mattel has the T-Rex sculpt down, don't get me wrong. However, this figure here, there was no electronic features. There was none of that because this is their premium collection. This is the collector line. And I think like scale-wise with the figures, you know, you can throw, we can throw Grant in here and you can see just how well that scales up, right? That looks actually pretty cool. And then you can throw Muldoon in there. And look at how well he scales up, you know, like you can have him getting basically almost eaten whole. However, you know, like I said, there was no action features. You can make the tongue do that. It had all this premium detail and articulation. I just was not like this is one of my things where I feel like I don't know if there's cutting corners or anything, but even like look at the back claws on this. I even pointed out in our Spinosaur video that they're not even painted on the Spinosaur. I don't know if that's an error or what. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at the claws on here. They're scaled accurate. They're not oversized. They're not ginormous. I don't know. Even what's funny is this. The original 93 had it scaled correctly. And guys, I'm not here to nitpick on this thing by any means. I'm just going over this because one of the things that I've had such a gripe with is this figure does not like to stand much unless you prop it. I think Mattel really has something going with this Hammond collection. However, I do think that they need to retool this T-Rex and re-release it properly and give it the love that it deserves. I don't like that. Like, what was it? They tried to paywall the Buck T-Rex, their version of it, by releasing the Jurassic Park gates, and then if you spent $500, you got the Bull T-Rex, you got Tim Murphy, you got the car that they've made I don't know how many times with rubber tires on it, and then they put the gates. To me, that was such an overpriced. I think it was actually more than that. To get to the $500, got you the car and that, and I think it might have been $700. And to me, it's like, it's not worth it because they didn't even fix this. All they did was put paint on it. And I look at it and it's like I've shown you guys in our previous videos, everything that Kenner had, they retooled, they made it better for the next movie. They've made it better. And I just hope Mattel, if any of you are watching this from Mattel, know that I'm not picking on you personally, but I just wish that you would take the time to retool this figure and do it properly and give us the T-Rex that we deserve and that we want. That'll help improve the collector area, you know. But like I said, guys, you guys can see that just how cool this figure is. It's really cool. I am a big fan of it. I just wish that they would fix it. I know that just the scale wise, they just need to do a little better on there. But what we've got is, guys, that's the Hammond collection. And so you can see just how well that looks with the motorhome. And now what we have, one of my favorite releases that has come out, Lab Lockdown Tyrannosaurus Rex. So this figure here basically took everything that the Hammond collection T-Rex, you know, like the sculpt, all that, like someone said it best, you know, like it's basically the Hammond collection T-Rex 2.0. And I get that the neck doesn't come out, you know, the arms. It doesn't have the most playability features, but I thought it was actually, to me, this is actually one of the best T-Rexes Mattel has released because I love the scale. Like, look at this. Even it compared to Alan Grant, you know, like from the 90s. Like, look how cool that looks. It scales up better. And then you have Muldoon, you know, eats him just up, just like that. You know, I get that the neck is stuck in that way, but I honestly think that this T-Rex here is awesome. It has so much detail to it for such a simple figure. You know, and I feel like with the Rebirth line, there's a lot more detail and a lot more paint that's been going in. The teeth have been redone on here, a lot sharper. And like, look at this. Look how cool that scales up to it, you know. And then you have like the Thrasher. Look how well that scales up to it, you know. And then I believe that there's another T-Rex coming out for Rebirth, but Mattel, do a real feel. Do a real feel one. This will be really cool if you do the colors and do a real feel of like our Power Devour T-Rex that's coming out, or matching the paint on the Super Colossal. But guys, that shows you the scale right there. Like I said, this is one of the coolest figures that Mattel has released in a long time. If you ask me, of the T-Rexes, this is definitely one play feature on here. You guys can see this T-Rex is just one of the coolest ones. Definitely a collector's item that you'll want to pick up. I really do like what Mattel has done with this, and like I said, you know, you guys have been able to see all the way from start to finish. We still have to do our Super Colossals. That'll be in the next video that we're going to go through the Super Colossals with the Bull T-Rex, as well as on scale with these. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel right here at Rushers Toys if you haven't already. We have many more Jurassic Park, Jurassic World videos to make. If there's something specific that you're looking for us to make a video on, make sure you guys reach out to us, put it in the comments, and we'll gladly make you guys a video on there. We love doing this and sharing our collection with you all. I want to thank you so much again for watching this video. You all have a great day.